Disclaimer, I'm going to structure this video in a way that appeals to everyone. You don't need to be subscribed to me to understand the references in this video, despite a lot of them being about me. I'll give brief descriptions, but the main script will talk about the level difficulty and what makes it difficult. If you're new and you want some information about the references, I'll write everything in the description. The Mayro Galaxy series was created by MeTheMarioMan to punish my existence. But how hard is it? Harder than the perfect run? Well, obviously. Now that I've beaten all 6 levels across these 2 hacks, I'm going to talk about them in a little bit more detail. This list is based off how difficult the levels were, as well as how long they took me to beat. If you want to try for yourself, both Revolution patches will be in the description, as well as trailers for each game. The Cloud Flower was one of the greatest additions to Super Mario Galaxy 2. The idea of flicking your wrists to form a new platform beneath you sounds pretty broken on paper, but if you put it into practice, you'll find that it's still really broken, but it also works. A level called Fluffy Bluff was created for this gimmick, where you had to use it to get across these cloud platforms and make your own to scale mountains. If you didn't have the Cloud Flower, the clouds would disappear and you'd fall to your death. In Super Mayro Galaxy Twoad, you're also presented with cloud platforming, and you don't get the Cloud Flower, so you fall to your death. Well, that's assuming you don't know the trick. If you perform a long jump into a cloud, then jump at the right time with Z still being held, you can long jump off the cloud before it disappears. In this stage, there are many strings of these jumps which require you to get the perfect angle and perfect timing. Once you're done with that, you have to do a triple jump off some more awkwardly placed clouds to set up a wall jump to spawn a Cloud Flower. This is a really difficult jump, and the tall trunk tree doesn't exactly help anyone make it. Assuming you've been collecting the big coins along the way, you should have the Cloud Flower ready to take to the stupidly large Toad. You'll have to feel your way around with backflips and even do some backflip wall jumps off the Toad's head to even stand a chance of getting up. Fall off? Okay, back to the start of the level for you. When it's all over, you're required to infinite flutter to the star. Don't be falling off now. Not many bosses have been considered difficult across the Mario Galaxy games. Camella had caused issues for some players for some reason in Galaxy 1, and Fiery Golga just hates everybody. But there's one boss that everyone can agree is difficult. Unless you're me, because I've never struggled with this boss in Super Mario Galaxy 1 or Super Mario Galaxy 2. That boss is none other than the ultra-threatening Bouldergeist. So, how could this fight be made more difficult? Making him bigger? Adding more? Well, more was certainly added. We certainly have the pleasure of fighting 2 Bouldergeists at the same time and having to kill them both. But we also have the pleasure of fighting them on a small strip of carpet with holes in it, which rotates and changes direction when it feels like it. Sounds like fun, right? Yeah, it's not really that fun. One of the biggest problems with this fight is the length. The strategy to beating this level is simple. Take out one Bouldergeist after the first rock throwing attack, take out the other one, hit one of them with the many boos spammed across the battlefield, use the other spawned boos to destroy the second phase while standing on Bouldergeist 2's platform, then repeat till it's over. A single run of this fight can take anywhere between 3 and 6 minutes, and getting to the end and dying is really frustrating. Many of my deaths weren't even from Bouldergeist himself, but rather me falling off the platform. I guess Bouldergeist is still a pretty easy boss then. The previous 2 missions I talked about were both from the sequel to Super Mayro Galaxy, Super Mayro Galaxy Twoad. And this mission is also from Super Mayro Galaxy Twoad, and it combines the main feature from both of those fights. Bouldergeist, cloud platforming. Now, there's one major thing about fighting Bouldergeist on a cloud that makes it a lot more difficult from just fighting Bouldergeist. If you take one hit, you're dead. But, as you know, Bouldergeist isn't very difficult. So, there's obviously something else that makes him difficult. Well, you cannot pick up bomb boos with the Cloud Flower. Normally, a spin attack should make these ghosts revolve around you. However, the Cloud Flower confuses this behavior and makes it so they will not attach themselves to you. Well, for the most part. There's a very, very small window where you can hold the bomb boos, and that's your chance to attack. So you have to go right up to Bouldergeist, lure a boo around the other side, and hope it tries to pass through Bouldergeist to hit him. Yeah, have fun with the hand phase. Oh, and have even more fun chasing him around to no avail. Now, you may be wondering why I think this is harder than the previous star on the list. Well, I believe that how much fun I'm having is directly tied with how well I can play. The double boulder guys fight is actually kind of fun, but in this fight, I felt like I had very little control, and therefore deaths often didn't feel like my fault. I can still respect the idea and how unique it is compared to other modifications of boulder guys, but I just didn't really feel like I was achieving much. Oh, and don't go thinking it's over when you beat him. Instead of a checkpoint or a star, you just get thrown into the final section from the perfect run with cosmic clones and the star medal lurking off to the side. I actually died to a mid-air hammer whilst re-recording the footage of my playthrough, and I almost rage-quitted. A lot of people are fed up with Toad. He's used everywhere in Color Splash and Star Rush, plus he seems to be the main meme of so many Mario-related channels. The level Toad Again from the original Mayro Galaxy game takes inspiration from official Nintendo games by having Toad replace a lot of the assets. This also includes the boss planet, which happens to house Fiery Gobblegut and absolutely no control. Now, I personally think that Fiery Gobblegut is the hardest boss in Super Mario Galaxy 2, so putting him on a low-poly, T-pose yellow Toad with its own gravity isn't what I personally call fun. The collision's a bit messy, and I found myself sliding when I didn't want to, or in a position where I couldn't hit Gobblegut's weak points. So really, you only get access to the top half of Toad. Gobblegut, wait! There's more! Since Gobblegut kind of swirls around the point of a planet, sometimes he just likes to appear out of the ground when you're not expecting it. Long story short, you're gonna get hit a lot. I'm sorry, but Bouldergeist is pretty easy. The rocks he throws are no threats, the spikes from the ground are no threat, the bombos are easy to hit him with, his hands don't even do damage half the time, and he doesn't even think to move. If you want a boss to complain about, what about Digger-like? Same thing, but he can move a bit, and actually damage you. Anyway, this stage has everything. Apart from one-ups and checkpoints where they're needed anyway. Electric balls, fast-moving platforms, fire bars, momentum exploits, instant death, janky cloud platforming, boulder guys, game overs. It's all here. This is the kind of level that can compete with Master Quest, and you're gonna get frustrated playing it. Back when it was first made, I was the first person to see it. There were no videos on it, which meant I had to come up with every strategy on my own. If you've seen my video, you'd know that you don't jump from the edge of this use block, and you have to nudge yourself to the left in this cloud section, for example. This is no exaggeration. It took 3 hours to beat this stage. 1 hour to learn the first section, another to get past the cloud platforming section, and another to beat the double bouldergeist on a rotating platform that only goes one way this time, meaning you can only use one of the many directions given to you in 3D games. By far the worst part of this stage is life management. What? You've reached the cloud section? Cool, now adapt to the inconsistent timing of cloud flowerless jumps and learn the exact inputs in 3 attempts. Otherwise, have a nice game over and go back to the start of the level. And that's why it took me so long, really. Redoing the first section over and over and over again took a long time. It's not even that easy to do. Thankfully, a 1-up was left for the double bouldergeist fight, or I probably would have gone insane, genuinely. And I don't just mean singing badly along with the music. Remember, you should totally 100% play both of the hacks to the fullest. NPC Gaming was able to beat the entirety of Mayro Galaxy 1 without dying. Can you do that? I certainly can't. If you're a little scared to go into the game because you think it'll be too hard, give Mayro Galaxy Twoad a try. Give yourself an hour and some music, and I reckon every single one of you will be able to beat or start to learn how the fight works. So really, you only get access. What on earth is that word? If you're a little scared to go into the game because you think it'll be too hard, give Mayro Galaxy Twoad a guy, yes. Give it a guy. Hey, Toad really needs a boyfriend, guys.